Hello and welcome back to episode 3 of the Oversteer and Overshare podcast. We do apologize for the audio in the last one. If you made it through the whole episode, congratulations, because that was tough for me to listen to. Basically, we tested for like an hour of the different settings, and we would listen, we would test a little bit, and then listen to it back, and then play with the settings, and then over and over and over again. And then I just didn't put the microphone in front of my face, so that's why the audio was terrible. So we're learning this. We've never made a podcast before. Our dog Penny is not having a great time right now. But yeah, so this time we're going to face directly into the camera the whole time, and try and get a little bit better audio. But hello, welcome. It's an off week. What do you got for us this week, wife?
Oh, I'm starting. Me, just
Well,
jumping right in.
You run the podcast.
Well, I think we should talk about Max at Nords because that's the big motorsport. At least that feels to me as an F1 fan like the big motorsport news of the week.
Okay, yeah. So Max the Nordschleife. So if you don't know what the Nordschleife is, by the way, it's like 7 in the morning for us. Like we're recording this super early, so that's why we're still waking up. If you don't know what the Nordschleife is, it is the hardest, most grueling, most dangerous track in the world. It's the Nürburgring, is what you probably have heard of it, but the Nürburgring is technically the entire track. So there's a GP layout, which is like more typical of what you would see of an F1 track, and there's the Nordschleife, which is a 190 turns. It's like a 7-minute lap. It spreads over this whole forest in Germany. It's like the motorsport mecca. So yeah, Max went there this weekend. What do you want to talk about first?
So you said this is so it is the Nürburgring, but it's a portion of the ring. Like you'd still see the iconic Nürburgring track. It's not like a.
Well, this is the iconic one. So the iconic version is the Nordschleife. Max participated in the NLS, which is a Nordschleife specific race series. And yeah, he was, that is the most iconic. So the F1 circuit, like back in the day, the F1 went on the whole Nordschleife, and then it was too dangerous. So they made the GP circuit that is, again, more traditional to what you're used to with seeing. It's like a 20 or 25 turn track. It's very typical for an F1 race. And then there's also a combined layout where you can do both. So that's what the N24 was, the Nürburgring 24. That's the combined layout. The NLS is just the Nordschleife.
And so the NLS is this like, I would assume it's not like I assume there's not multiple races for it. Like this is just like a one-off race. Otherwise I don't understand how Max would be able to do it.
I really don't know much about the NLS, but I know it's a series, so it's not a one-off race. Yeah, but it's just, they just do it. It's a series that occurs at the Nürburgring.
And he's got it. His team has been doing it, and he is just like a reserve driver, I guess, for his team and can choose to race when he wants.
So I probably should have done a little more research before this. His team, yeah. His team, as far as I'm aware, is in the GT World Challenge, which is not this series. So like his team was in the Spa 24 is where you saw him in. His team was not in the N24. So I don't think his team does this. He also wasn't in his team's car. His team is a GT3 car. He was in a GT4 car.
Okay.
Do you want to know the difference?
They're different cars.
Yeah, that's why I said his team was in a GT3.
I don't know. What's the difference?
So GT3 is like what you'll see in WEC and IMSA in the top class. Like it's the highest version of a regular car turned into race car.
Okay.
So you'll see like a Ford Mustang and a Porsche 911, and it's a regular car that's become a race car. A GT4 is still a regular car that's become a race car, but it's much more close to like a road car. Like there's way less downforce. They're pretty equivalent in like straight line speed and power, but they have way less downforce in them. So they can't do corners near as well.
Okay, so tell me about Max's race then at the Nordschleife.
So the Nordschleife?
Nordschleife.
Yeah, so I always thought that was pretentious to call it the Nordschleife, and then I met a German last week, and he called it the Nordschleife, so that's how I'm,
Oh.
Nordschleife is how Americans pronounce it usually.
People are going to be in the comments like, you're so pretentious. No one really calls it that. That German guy you were talking to is a douchebag.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. So the funny part is, so the Nürburgring has its own license system. So it's not like the FIA, where like you get FIA licensed for anything. So the Nordschleife has its own license system. So Max went in as technically a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
And so he had to, when he got there, before he was allowed to drive on track for qualifying, he had to go with an instructor and like follow a pace car around for, I think it was like 6 or 7 laps. And these laps are at speed. These laps are like 7 minutes or more, depending on which car you're in. So he was, you got to think 8 times 6 or whatever. Like he was in there for an hour just following some dude around, like driving around. And the poor instructor knew he had Max Verstappen behind him,
I bet that instructor is sweating bullets. He's like, I better not fuck this up. Like, I feel pressure.
Yeah, so he was in a GT4 car, and then also because he's a rookie, they detuned it. So they removed, I think it was 140 horsepower, and they added 135 kilograms of weight.
I'm assuming that's typical, like for rookies
for this series.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know much. Like they would never do that in WEC or IMSA or anything like that.
Okay.
But this is for the series because it's designed to be like a feeder series for more like larger Nürburgring events. So yeah, he went out in the wet. I think they had qualifying in the wet, and so it kind of nerfed the like disadvantage he had, right? Because it's not as big a disadvantage in the wet. And so he qualified within 6 seconds of the GT4 cars that had full horsepower. And they don't have they don't have a ton of horsepower. So this is he's down a quarter of his horsepower basically.
How many cars do you know how many cars are in this class?
I do not. We can
I
check,
feel like I shouldn't be asking you questions then.
I know enough to be dangerous on this.
I feel like I should no longer be asking you the billion questions that are in my mind because you won't have the answers and it'll just be me calling you out.
I've never pretended to be an expert in the Nordschleife.
How many cars are nerfed in that? Like, was it a lot of rookies in this?
I really don't know. I think he was in a class of 3 or 4 with the detune. Like the GT4 class was more than that, but there were 3 or 4 with this specific detune that he went through.
Mm-hmm.
So he set in quali set a lap 6 seconds within the pole time of that class, without the detune. And then as soon as the race started.
So they don't detune him for qualifying, just for the race.
I'm saying the time. So he was detuned.
Oh, okay.
He was 6 seconds of a non-detuned car's time.
Got it.
But then, because it was in the wet. But then the race started, and he was like way up the grid compared to all the others in his class. And so as soon as it started, he sunk like a stone because he just literally doesn't have as much speed as everybody else. I don't know. I know it ended with his car being a lap down. I don't know if he did poorly or not. I know he got enough, and I think he's doing 2 races to get enough to get his license to go to the next class in the Nürburgring specifically.
But he did not get enough points this race.
The first race. That's why he's doing the second.
Would he have been able to get enough points in the first race?
I really don't know enough about it.
Okay, so why are we talking about this?
There's very few people that will know more than me about the NLS that are in America.
We have an audience that's not just in America.
I would argue we don't have much of an audience right now.
Correct.
I think our audience is our friends right now.
Okay, so that's all you know on.
You're not doing a good job.
Max at the Nordschleife.
The Nordschleife. Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot that I was in charge of that.
Yeah, that's why I said you're not doing a good job at it.
I'll go back and look at these later. I'm not going to clip anything right now.
Clip anything. Okay. It's going to be way harder to go back.
No, just this beginning section. I'll go back and look at.
Okay. What do you got for us next?
Okay. I've got.
While she's pulling this up, please let us know in the comments if the audio is better. I think it'll be better. I still see that we're picking each other up a little bit, which we'll work on fixing, but this will be kind of an iterative process. We're going to try and get a little better every episode.
It's because you keep talking louder than you said you were going to when you were practicing.
When we were practicing, I said we have to set it up to get the entire range of the voices, which the audience does not care about this conversation. But yeah, you can't, it's literally impossible to maintain the same decibel level as a human being.
You were like, I'm going to talk at this level. And then I was like, no, you're not. You always talk louder than you think you will in the podcast. And then you're like, I'm going to turn my volume up.
Yeah. Well, that has nothing to do with me being picked up on yours.
Okay. So we talked about Max Verstappen and the Nords. Let's see. I guess, is NLS sort of like WEC adjacent? Should we talk about Theo Porcher? Theo? Theo?
I wouldn't say the NLS is WEC adjacent because it's more like WEC goes all across the world. The NLS is specifically for the Nordschleife, so it's like its own series that kind of has its own like mythos about it because the Nordschleife is so difficult. I should put you on a lap of it in iRacing and just see how terrible it is for you.
Remember when I tried to drive Monza and
And you
I
kept turning
created a
around.
hairpin?
She would just do a 360 for no. She would literally turn in turn 1, and instead of taking turn 2, she would just continue turning
I
until she
thought it
went
was a
backwards.
hairpin. Which I don't know why, because I've watched that race so many times.
Yeah.
I don't know where a hairpin would exist, but
Jesus Christ. So Teo is our next subject?
yeah.
Okay. So Teo was the 2020, what year win? 2023 F2 champion. So we talked a little bit about F2 last week. The audio probably cut out for all of my F2 segment, but talked a little bit about F2 last week. Teo was the champion. He had a really good championship battle with Fred Vesti. Fred Vesti, I believe, drives in IMSA for the Cadillac team, in the Whelen Cadillac car. Now Teo has got to drive next year in WEC in the Peugeot hypercar.
Teo's a reserve driver for one of the F1 teams, right?
Sauber probably. He was a
Okay.
Sauber junior. I don't know if he's still a reserve for Sauber, but he was a Sauber junior. I remember to focus the face. So he's in hypercar. So hypercar is the top class of WEC. WEC has 2 different classes. IMSA has 3. WEC has the hypercar, or it's not called hypercar, it's called something else, but hypercar at the top and GT3. So Max could use this if he wanted to do more GT3 racing. He could do it in WEC. Generally speaking, their calendar doesn't conflict with the F1 calendar, but I don't know if every single race doesn't. But yeah, so Teo will be
I'm
driving.
sure their contract conflicts.
Well, that's probably true. Yeah, that's very true, because it'd be a whole manufacturer and everything. But yeah, Teo will be driving for Peugeot next year, which is a hypercar, so top class. And there's a lot of hypercars.
Is that a big team, or is that?
Well, it's a real car manufacturer, so it's like it is a works team in that sense, but they're not doing super hot right now. You look confused.
I don't watch a lot of WEC. I've seen like some WEC races. I don't feel like I've ever. Which is the hypercar?
The fast one, top class.
Not helpful. What does it look like?
I don't know how to describe a hypercar. It doesn't look like a regular car.
Is it the one in Gran Turismo?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
That was, not to be a nerd, that wasn't like literally a hyper. It was supposed to be a hypercar, but
that's what they look like.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
They used something that's not quite a hypercar to film it because it was cheaper, but it's supposed to be a hypercar.
Okay.
At the end, not most of it. Most of it is in a GT3 car.
Okay, so Teo got signed with a team in the highest class with a team that's not doing super great.
Yeah.
Is this like a good move then, or is this like a it's a move and he's got a seat now somewhere permanently?
He's not going to get to F1, so WEC is the next best thing in most people's opinions. He already got out of F2. He can't go to F1. Super Formula is kind of the only other option he would have, but that's like another type of feeder series to F1.
What is Super Formula?
You don't know about Super Formula?
No.
Oh my God. Super Formula is where Liam Lawson went for a while, between his F2 career and his F1 career. So Super Formula is a Japanese only series that only does tracks in Japan, but it's a specific car. It's a Super Formula car, which is like between an F2 and an F1 car in terms of performance. And so they do like the same, I think 4 or 8 tracks, like
they just
all year
rotate
round.
them. Okay.
And these it's only Japanese people for the most part that are in it, and they've been doing those tracks at every karting event, every racing series their whole career. So that's why it's like super hard for.
So like Liam Lawson had a huge disadvantage there.
Yeah. So sometimes they'll take if like Liam, they did this to Liam. If they don't think they're ready out of F2, but they kind of have aged out of F2, but they're not ready for F1, then they'll put him in Super Formula as like an intermediary.
This is like the F1 equivalent of taking a gap year.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
But
it's just, yeah. So it's meant to like make them be cross trained on a different series.
Okay. Interesting.
Keep looking at you. I need to stop that. Don't even look at me.
I was like looking at how pale my leg looks compared to because the lighting, it looked so different. Maybe the tattoos don't help, but I was so distracted by that.
Sure.
Okay, so we don't know if this is a good move or not. It's just a move. He has a seat now. It's better than nothing.
It's as good as it's gonna get.
Yeah.
He's going to WEC. It's a hypercar. It's not a top hypercar. Like it's not a Porsche or a Ferrari or something like that. But WEC is expanding dramatically because next year they've got Genesis Magma joining. The year after they've got McLaren and Ford joining.
And Sauber doesn't have a I thought he was an Aston Martin.
Well, Sauber's
I know
not a
Felipe
car
Drugovich is
manufacturer.
Felipe is Aston Martin, but they have to have. Does Sauber not have a? Are they still tied to Renault or no?
What?
I'm confused. All the
What do you? Sauber is
was
got
Alpine
purchased.
tied to Renault?
Hold on.
There's so many
You're asking too many
swaps.
questions.
There's so many
Hold on.
swaps. It's confusing.
Sauber's tied to Audi.
Yeah.
Audi was very dominant in WEC, but they're no longer there.
Do they still have a team?
No,
Oh,
not
okay.
a WEC team.
Okay.
So they left WEC, and then their new focus is this.
Okay.
Alpine
Were they? And
is
you
the
said,
same. Hold on, I have to answer this question before we get distracted. Alpine's the same as Renault.
okay.
Alpine is the sport version of
Yeah.
Renault.
Okay.
So the real car company is Renault.
Mhm.
They really make Renault cars and Alpine cars, but Alpine are like the quick version.
Yeah. It's confusing when they change team names and
Yeah.
all the time.
Well, it's also a French company, so we don't know.
And I'm also like trying to keep this straight with me having watched Drive to Survive for like a few seasons and then like regular racing news.
So what was your follow-up question?
So you said Audi was in WEC and they were good and they aren't
Audi
anymore,
was incredible.
Okay.
Audi was so good that they built a hypercar that was faster. So back in the day, in like the 2014 to 2018 range, before the cost cap started in 2021.
They did a cost cap for WEC too.
No.
Oh.
Before the F1 cost cap.
Mm-hmm.
The lower tier cars would be like a full second or more off the pace. So in WEC, which I don't know if it was called WEC at this time, but it's WEC, Audi was so good that their hypercar was faster than the bottom teams of F1 on the same track.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so they weren't faster than like the Mercedes.
Yeah.
But they were faster than like the Caterhams and the Manor and that kind of shit.
I've never heard of those team names before.
Caterham might come back.
As what?
Caterham.
We'll just have 12 teams.
Well, okay, this is a lot of me explaining this episode.
There's not any F1 racing going on this week.
I just don't know how entertaining
to...
this will be for people. But
I said, I was like, should we film? And you were like, yeah, we should film. People need motorsports in the off week. And I was like, okay.
So Caterham was a team that was in 2014, maybe 2015. They're the ones that I was showing you that they have the abandoned factory. So they have like they have a factory, but literally they just abandoned it. So it's like still there. The like ceilings caved in. Like,
yeah, I know what abandoned means.
Thank you. So yeah, it was recently announced that like some Asian rich guy from some country, I don't remember which, had
probably
talked
an
about,
Asian country.
No, I said an Asian.
I know.
He had talked about reviving Caterham with outside investors and making a bid to be the 12th team. But yeah, Caterham was on the grid.
I didn't realize we were getting a 12th team. I thought I knew.
No, we're not.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Nothing's confirmed. That he just says that maybe he'll.
Yeah, if they're letting an 11th team, why not a 12th? I guess. But
well, the 11th team paid $500 million in essentially a bribe to the other teams.
Pocket change.
To Cadillac, you think so?
I mean, that's in our jobs.
I just watched you
change.
think about clipping something.
No, I didn't. I'm just thinking about how much money, like in real life, that we work with. But
I mean, it's essentially a bribe. It was just it's an anti-dilution fee that they pay to the other teams because an 11th team changes the payout ratios of the overall winnings.
Well, money talks. Okay. Where is Logan Sargent again?
Where
is he going to?
He will be in IMSA in their LMP2 class, so in the second class. So IMSA has 3 classes, whereas WEC has 2, and they put the third class that is an IMSA in like a feeder series.
Okay. I have like something very small. I couldn't find a lot of information on this, but F1 Academy did their rookie test or is doing their rookie test.
I saw that. Yeah, I didn't recognize any of the names, which I guess is the point.
Circuito de Navarra.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how many of the girls in the current season are like aging out where they won't be able to race next year. But it was like 18 drivers were doing this rookie test for either a full-time seat or a wildcard entry. So I don't know how many will get selected, but
isn't that more than they have drivers on the grid?
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I don't know how many of these girls are aging out where they will then be able, like, where there's empty seats to fill. But
hopefully they're going places. That was the thing that I've enjoyed most of this year on my motorsport, like that I consume, is I tried to really map out where everybody would go from F1 Academy. And there are like there's a bunch of different places. The cool part is most of the championships are free on YouTube because they're like smaller championships.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have more subscribers than some of these championships, which is hilarious to me. But yeah,
I don't feel like you needed to say that. I don't feel
it
like
is funny to me. Because, well, this is the same thing I've always said is like, I have no talent. I just make these stupid little videos. But people with actual talent or like full on racing series aren't as successful as me on social media. And I find it a shame because like people should be watching them, not my dumbass.
Yeah, have you noticed in the last 2 podcasts we've done, you've like humble bragged about how many subscribers you have?
What did I do in the last one?
You've like mentioned it in both.
I don't remember mentioning
Well, I
the last
have like
one.
36,000 followers.
I do.
Yeah. See, the fact that I know that number.
It's 37 now.
Oh, yeah. See, you just like humble brag and you've mentioned the last
cool.
2 podcasts,
Yeah,
and now you're bringing it up again.
I still find it.
I'm going to have to do a compilation at the end of the season TikTok where it's you every time you humble brag about your stream.
For the audio listeners, that was a good clip. So I directed her to clip that because that's her job. Because she's managing a lot of the social media stuff for the podcast.
I'm just making TikToks and reels, I guess.
Well, but people talk about like what's it called? Imposter syndrome, and I've never felt that like in my real job. Like but I do feel that in content. Like for example, we went to like a big anime con this weekend, and I met an artist there. We bought something from him. He's super talented. He makes super cool art. But then I checked his Instagram and he's got like 600 followers. I'm like, dude, like that no one, you who actually makes something should have more followers than me who just makes these stupid little sim racing videos.
Do you want to tell the group how many followers you have?
We already did. We just did.
I don't think we need to talk about your following.
Yeah, okay. What else do you want to talk about?
Okay, so the rookie test, which I wish I had looked up how many girls are aging out, but I'm really not sure.
I don't think it's, you keep saying aging out. There's no aging out.
It is. You can only do 2 seasons.
Oh, well, yeah, but that's not due to their age.
Okay, well, I guess that's
timing out.
Yeah, timing. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Let's see what else. We can talk about McLaren getting the Constructors' Championship in Baku potentially, which I would say that's a very fair.
We'll tell them the numbers first.
Yeah. So McLaren can potentially win the Constructors' Championship in Baku. They have 617 points currently. The second highest team is Ferrari which is crazy. Yeah.
The second highest team is Ferrari.
Yeah. Because also I don't feel like Ferrari's been doing, like, I feel like every week you're like, man, I can't believe Ferrari's doing this, but they have 280 points. So
McLaren can clinch if they do
9 points.
9 points more than
Ferrari
in Baku specifically. Which, yeah, I mean, that's probably going to. I don't see a scenario where it doesn't unless one of them DNFs, which is possible.
And then the other is low down.
Well, I mean, Ferrari would have to do pretty well, like 2-3 kind of thing.
No, they wouldn't. It's just 9 points. So cumulatively, they could have 10th and
first is
8th.
25, right?
Yeah.
So they have to be within 9 points. That second is 18. That's only 7. So if third, if they get anything with other points, it's fine.
But that's what I'm saying. Ferrari could do horribly in one of the dry, like.
I don't know if
they could both DNF. Maybe both McLarens will ram into each other.
If it's gonna happen at a track, Baku might be the one.
Yeah, that is always. I forget how good Baku is for a race.
Well, Baku recently hasn't been very good, and I think they say it's these ground effect cars. I don't know, but like the first several years, it was always a banger every time. But now it's been pretty lame recently. Last year was only interesting at the very end when Checo and Carlos took each other out.
I was gonna say there was a crash last year.
Yeah, crazy times, and then everybody was so confused. Carlos poor baby was confused.
I think there's always been a crash that I've watched Baku. I mean, that's only 2 years.
It's a crazy track. Yeah, for sure.
I think it'll be a good race.
Think so. Let's do.
Are we doing top 3 predictions?
Well, other podcasts do the winner, and some podcasts do P10.
Should we do a DNF
prediction?
Yeah.
Sure, but it's kind of weird because like could be no one DNFs.
A DNF or a P20. Who's gonna do the worst?
Who's
The
going to do the
biggest
worst?
loser.
Yeah, the biggest loser. That's a good
Okay.
one. Biggest loser.
Um,
And should we just rule out Lance Stroll? Like, we can't pick Lance Stroll for the season?
no, because he's not the biggest loser always. He did pretty good last week in Monza, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so biggest loser, and I would say that this will be subjective if there's like multiple crashes or DNFs in a race. But it could be very straightforward where there's only one DNF, and that would be the biggest loser. If no one DNFs, then like P20 would be the biggest loser.
Embarrassment
right?
of the race, maybe
Yeah.
we should do.
I think biggest loser could be a fun segment, and that's a good prediction we can do.
I'm gonna go ahead and say biggest loser. I think will be Lando, because the narrative is that he's coming back. You know, he got 3 points. He's doing well. I just don't foresee him making the gap back up. So I see him going into the wall doing something stupid.
Man, that's so sad. I'm not even rooting for Lando like you are for driver championship. I don't think he'll be the biggest loser. I do have faith in him.
Who do you think will be the biggest loser then?
I think one of the Ferraris. I think it'll probably be Lewis.
Yeah. I mean, he could be the 2025 biggest loser. I love him to death, but he could be the biggest
I
loser
just
this
feel
year.
like his luck was really good last week at Monza, and that was the Italian sacrifice. And this week he's got to fuck up Baku. Like, that just needs to be what happens for Ferrari's success, I guess. Charles will.
You're clipping it while still talking about your clip.
Because you're pointing at the button, and so I'm buttoning.
It's okay. You'll get the hang of it. But yeah, I have an eye for what's a good clip now, so that's why I say that. But you also got to finish your.
I should just get you a clicker. Oh, my mom got me one of those like Kindle page turner things. I'll put it on here, and then so you don't move away from your mic, can just click.
I need to program like a light
buttons.
that flashes telling you when to, like, it's like it flashes red for like you're about to click, flashes green for.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Lewis will be the biggest loser.
Okay. Biggest loser segment. This is fun.
Yeah.
What else you got?
The Jaguar diamond theft
Yeah.
was the other and
Okay.
final thing I had.
So we did. I think we should do a segment of like mysteries or fun stories from the past, because I think that's something that people like. The last time we talked about Fernando Alonso's mystery crash / electrocution in 2014,
Which was cut off.
yeah,
a lot.
you couldn't hear most of it. Which
You
is
hear me
really
say,
sucks.
"Oh, from the battery or something." But
yeah. So we're still learning how to be podcasters. You know.
I would say "we" is a really heavy. That's very finger pointy of you.
I think you're being finger pointy. We
finger
says this is
pointed at me
a problem for
is
both of us.
4 pointed back at yourself, buddy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not even going to engage with that. Anyway, so the Jaguar diamond
That's
theft.
4.
So a while back, have you ever seen the Ocean's movies? Ocean's
No,
11,
I don't
Ocean's
think so.
12,
No, I
Ocean's 13,
haven't.
And then Ocean's 18 with all women or something like that. So Ocean's 11, well, all the Ocean movies are about a heist. And so they don't really do this anymore. They did it with Deadpool and Wolverine's the last time they did it, but they used to like do movie tie-ins for F1, and the team would get like a special livery, and the pit crew would wear like a special.
Oh, like how they had the Star Wars one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they did one with Ocean's 11, and they did it with the Jaguar team.
When did Ocean's 11 come out?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, a while ago.
Okay. Well,
Early 2000s.
sure. Okay.
Feels like an early 2000s movie. So they, as press, they embedded a real $300,000 diamond on the nose of the Jaguar F1 car for Monaco. And so they put it on there. They put it on both cars, for what I remember. Or no, they put it on one of the two cars. And they were like taking pictures with it, and they ran it for qualifying in the race. They had it on there for the race. And then the one that was carrying the diamond hit the wall at the hairpin at the bottom of the hill, and no one to this day knows where the diamond is, because they couldn't. It hit the wall. It was on the nose, so it broke off the nose, and no one knows if like a marshal pocketed it, if it was never on there to begin with, and they just thought like they could do sleight of hand and like take pictures before the race, and then the camera resolution wasn't good enough to pick it up back then. Or it like just flew off into the water. No one knows.
How big is a $300,000 diamond?
You should look it up. It's solid. I mean, it's a fucking rock.
I mean, I will say that if I were like the press doing this, or whoever is organizing this, I would assume Monaco would be a pretty safe race for me to throw a $300 $300,000 diamond on
Because
a car.
everybody's rich.
Yeah, they'd be like, oh, like I would think that would be a pretty like safe place. No one needs my cheap ass diamond.
You hear Penny freaking out in the background. That was to the viewership.
But I mean, realistically, I would say the Marshall probably took that diamond.
Yeah, I mean, no one knows. It very well could have never been on the car, or it could have been on the car in the pits,
seems really
and then they kind of
conspiracy
sleight of
theory.
handed. Yeah, but no one knows. That's the whole point of it being a mystery, is no one knows what happened to this crazy ass diamond. Or it could have been insurance fraud. You know, they could have had it insured for a huge amount of money, and then they lost it. Oh, hey, hit the wall over there.
I think a Marshall pocketed it. I think the
so?
simplest answers are probably the most viable.
But yeah, so let us know in the comments if you like this kind of blast from the past mystery segment. I can definitely come up with more. There's a ton of good. I mean, there's so much history in F1 that just is unplumbed, I feel like, for the average watcher.
Well, that's all I had.
That's it? That's all you had?
Yeah, there's nothing.
31 minutes. I can do a little bit more. I can't do much.
Okay, go. There's nothing going, like there's no motorsport. I mean, there's like things I could talk about that we've already decided I should not talk about.
I don't know what this
with
is.
McLaren and Pato getting dragged through the mud right now.
Yeah. I mean, you can bring it up if you want.
I don't know if I should, but McLaren's just under hot water again. Oscar is their golden boy. I like keep thinking, I'm like, man.
Until he posted a picture of him flying a plane on 9/11.
That was last year, which
I know,
is
but it's still funny.
So funny. Yeah, that is really funny. If anyone hasn't seen that picture of Oscar where he posted a picture of him in the cockpit of a plane and the caption was like, a few more buttons than I'm used to. And he posted it on 9/11. And he's Australian, so I would not expect him
whatever
to...
random tragedies all these other countries have, but it
like,
was hilarious.
Yeah, for him to post that and then immediately have to delete that post is really funny. But
it's, of course, got screenshotted.
Yeah. So yeah, Pato's under hot water right now for some posts he made online. And so I just feel like McLaren...
He's in hot water for posts he made online supporting basically ICE raids as a Mexican national, is what you're saying?
No.
Oh.
That's not what I'm saying.
See, now you have to tell the story because I just made it worse.
Yeah, you did just make it worse. Well, okay, so he basically made some posts supporting Charlie Kirk past like this week with everything that's happened. And so a lot of his fans were really upset because...
Was it supporting or was it just like, I'm sorry, this guy got killed in front of his
I feel like it was kind of both. Like the ones he posted, I don't feel like were over. Like it was like, God bless Charlie Kirk, or
okay, and maybe he's Christian. So
yeah, like,
God bless
and
anyone.
yeah, he could be. He's Mexican. He could be Catholic, whatever. But there was one post where it was like he didn't post it on his story, but he had liked it, I guess, and it seemed more like he felt it was more like advocating for what Charlie Kirk said and the things he stood for. So a lot of people online are upset because Pato is not American, for one. So it does seem...
Watching you try to tell this story
I'm
in
trying,
a non-cancelable way.
I know,
is so funny.
I'm really trying to... There's a thin line here. So people are upset with Pato because he is, for one, not American. So it does seem rather weird to make these posts about an American conservative internet personality. Because this, yeah, and he also is here on a work visa, so he's Mexican, he's not American. He, last I knew, lived in like the San Antonio area in Bernie, but he's not American, so that's another. He's from Mexico, and given the state of everything in the U.S., it would just seemed really... A lot of people are really upset because there are a lot of things that are hurting Mexican nationals in the U.S., and he wasn't speaking out about those, but he is speaking out about the Charlie Kirk thing. So McLaren's under hot water for that this week. Last week was obviously Lando with McLaren rules, or Papaya rules.
Oscar's, and their factory photo.
Yeah, and their factory photo where Lando's front and center, and you have to play Where's Waldo with Oscar in the group. So Oscar is either gonna have to post something really, really horrible next week to even the playing field between their drivers. Penny, please don't. But yeah,
she's real worked up.
So that is what's going on in the McLaren world right now. I do feel bad for their social media people because, you know, this like their social media person who's probably the lowest paid person on the team.
I bet they're pretty well paid.
Dealing with
What do you think a social media manager for an F1 team? It's got to be pretty well paid.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't think marketing is ever paid as much as they like should be for the work they do. Um, just get your toy. But so yeah, that poor person though probably just like logging in every day and is like, oh fuck, like now another driver is doing this. But granted, I don't know if McLaren really does the PR as well as they should. Now that we're talking about it,
Yeah.
because Bianca Bustamante had some really questionable things that she was posting on Twitter when she was a
Which she's no longer a part of.
McLaren development driver. Correct, but that's what I'm saying. I think that their PR could probably just do some work.
Sorry, I'm trying to pull up the thing that I said I wanted to do at the end. It's just not cooperating right now, so we might have to come back. Continue talking for just a second.
Well, I am, but it's like really one-sided now and awkward.
Give me just hold on. I'm almost
so yeah, and so for the Bianca Bustamante thing, this was last year or maybe the year before, but she was a McLaren development driver in the F1 Academy. And she had been liking some tweets about Lance Stroll.
Autism Stroll.
Yeah, calling him autistic. And then when people were like, that's fucked up, you can't do that, her response was like, well, my brother's autistic, so I can say that. And then she like posted her brother, which I think is even more fucked up.
Look at this little autistic fuck is basically
like
what
that's
she
just
said.
Yeah, like
it's like, look at him. He's
it's like
super
the equivalent
autistic
where it's
looking.
like, well, I have black friends, so I can't be racist. Like that was like, okay.
We're trading in a lot of dangerous territory here while I'm trying to pull this up. We're riding the struggle bus right now, and Penny is so upset.
Come here.
Penny is so upset. Okay, I don't know. They changed the way that the YouTube portal is, so we're gonna leave that alone for now. My last thing. Are we good to go to my last thing?
Were you pulling up YouTube for nothing?
No. Well, I was gonna do something with it, but now I'm doing it.
Oh God.
It's fine. We'll be fine. So my last thing. Oh God. This
Subtle
is gone.
plug for your content,
This has gone
right?
from bad
Yeah,
to worse.
jeez.
This has gone from bad to worse. Hold on. We're trying to pull this up. I wanted to thank my YouTube members.
Oh, that's
our
right.
YouTube members. But YouTube changed the way they do it. And so I can't find it anymore. It's such a pain in the ass.
Well, there's only like 3, so don't you know them?
There's 5, but it's like no longer on the YouTube
Go to community
website for whatever reason. No, hold on, I got it. There we go. Oh.
He clicked it and it immediately said try again.
It literally was like, last one. Okay, all right. So now it's figured out. Sorry about that. We'll learn how to be good podcasters.
I would say don't read last name.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I got it. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing.
I don't trust
I've been
you.
a creator before.
I've done this before.
I have.
I'm a professional male entertainer.
I am a professional male entertainer. Thank you very much. So I want to do a quick F2 update because I this podcast is about F1, but it's not F1 week, and I want to get people into other types of racing. And F2 is an easy one because if you have F1 TV, then you have access to F2. Plus, it's like similar tracks, similar rules. Like it'll be easy to get into. For dude. He's unplugging stuff in my power cord. I can literally
There's
see
not
it.
even anything down there for her to be fucking with.
Damn, bitch! Ah.
Okay.
If you're not on the YouTube, you should go, or if you're not on the video version, you should look at what just happened. That was pretty funny. So F2 update. So I'm gonna start this small. I'm gonna make this kind of bite-sized, easy for people. So we're gonna introduce 2 characters today, number 1 and number 2 in the championship. There are, I believe, 3 rounds left in the championship, and every weekend they do a sprint and a feature. So there's 2 races every weekend. So right now, Leo Fornaroli is leading. He has 174 points. He's leading the championship. He was the F3 champion last year. So much like Gabriel Bortoleto, he went F3. He's working on his F2 championship. I doubt he'll go into F1 because there just doesn't seem to be a seat for him. But yeah, Gabby also was F3 champion and an F2 champion the next year, which is crazy. That never happens. Usually they spend, 2 or 3 years in F2 kind of figuring it out before they start a fight for the championship. And then second is Luke Browning, who is a Williams junior. So Leo is not a junior of any racing program right now. Luke Browning is a Williams junior. He has 153 points, so 21-point difference. So definitely still in the championship fight. But Luke is second. He's British. Leo is Italian. So that's kind of the gist of what's going on in F2 right now.
Something that you just reminded me of as you were saying, Gabby won F3 and then F2, which isn't unheard of. I think I saw somewhere that Oscar will be the first driver to have won the F3 championship, the F2 championship, and an F1 championship.
Yeah, it's
which
super,
is crazy because you've got Max Verstappen on the grid, but he obviously skipped one. So
he skipped F2. It's super, well, the I think it just goes to show you like how much the car of F1 comes into play. Because F3 and F2 are a spec championship. So they're the same, everyone's in the exact same car. The teams can play with the setup a little bit, and that's why some, like Prima is typically a better team because they have the knowledge to make the setup a little better. But it is the same hardware that everyone is using. F1's obviously not. So I think that just goes to show you of like how difficult the timing is of F1, of like you got to get into the right car when it's a competitive car in order to be, and then you have to be a champion. You have to be good to be a champion. Cool. Is that everything for this episode?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. Well, we made it, 40 minutes? That's not bad for an
Yeah.
off week. It's pretty good. We've got a couple segments we want to do every time. Biggest Loser for the upcoming race is one. Mystery is another one. Maybe F2 is another one. I don't know. I'm coming up with all the segments. You got to come up with some segments.
I'm organizing.
That's true.
I'm the boss.
She is the
I
boss.
approve what segments you can do.
But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody for listening. Hopefully the audio is better this time. Just please bear with us. It's like I said, it's going to be a bit of an iterative process. We're going to listen back to each episode and then try and make some changes to make it better. But I do want to shout out my F1 tier YouTube members. So I have 2 tiers on YouTube, a $1 a month and a $3. That money will go to both of us if you do it. So I'll split it with her.
Eventually.
Not exactly a 50-50 split, maybe, 70-30, 90-10, whatever. And I just wanted to thank our F1 tier members. They do get all of these episodes a day early. F2 tier members get my short form videos up to a day early, or minimum day early. So I want to thank Ray. I want to thank Blue Indigo. I want to thank Lady Livery. I want to thank Op, and I want to thank Foul for being an F1 tier member. It's $3 on YouTube to support. And like I said, you'll get these. Dude, she unplugged my light again. What is going on? Did she unplug my light?
I don't
There it is. That one, the far one. Yeah. Okay. I plugged in the wrong thing earlier. So bitch ass dog unplugged my light. Anyway, so yeah, YouTube membership, and then we will post these on Wednesdays. The easiest way to support is if you like this podcast is just if you're on YouTube to like it, leave a comment of your favorite part or something we should cover next time.
Ring the bell to get notified whenever we post videos.
Ring the bell to get notified.
Smash that subscribe button.
Fascinating. On Spotify, you can just follow the podcast and leave us a review. That'll be the easiest thing to help us on Spotify. We're far away from monetization there, but and then my wife here has started editing and posting clips.
Let me know what kind of TikTok content or reels or whatever you would like to see, because I don't really know what I should be posting there.
Yeah, and it's posted to my channel, so Funky T-Bone or Funky T-Bone TV, depending on the platform. But YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, it's all on there. So if you want to get our short form content, you can follow or subscribe or whatever there. Anything else you want to cover?
No.
All right. Well, you want to play us out?
Meow.
Look at Penny just chomping on that thing. All right. Thanks, everybody.